Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now. Hold on tight because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most game-changing rumors we've seen in recent Steelers history. According to some of the most respected insiders in the league, like Adam Schefter and Diana Rossini, there's some serious buzz about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the AFC North and, more specifically, give the Steelers a massive boost heading into the final stretch of the season. And it involves none other than Jaylen Waddle, the electrifying wide receiver from the Miami Dolphins. Yep, you heard that right. Waddle potentially heading north to Pittsburgh, and the implications are huge. This rumor has been floating around since late last week, with sources suggesting that the Dolphins are preparing to make a significant move after the deadline, possibly as soon as April 4th. Miami, currently sitting at 4-7 and in full rebuild mode, is apparently open to trading Waddle in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-round pick. The goal: free up around $15 million in cap space, which they plan to use to rebuild their roster, especially their offensive line that's been struggling mightily this season. Miami's been leaking points, allowing around 24, 5 per game, and they're looking to reset their roster with fresh picks and cap flexibility. But this trade isn't just about cap space or rebuilding. They're eyeing the future, and Waddle is a big part of that. Now, this is where things get really interesting for the Steelers. If this trade goes through, Pittsburgh would be getting their hands on a player that, quite frankly, could be a game-changer. Waddle, known affectionately as the Penguin for his explosive acceleration, has the kind of speed that defenses just can't keep up with. Imagine him lining up next to George Pickens, creating a deadly duo that could redefine what this offense is capable of. Waddle's quickness and ability to stretch the field would open up so many more options for Kenny Pickett, especially on third-and-long situations where the Steelers have struggled at times this season. We all know how vital explosiveness is in today's NFL, and Waddle brings that in spades. Let's take a deep dive into what Waddle could bring to Pittsburgh. Drafted 6th overall in 2021, Waddle has been a consistent and dynamic playmaker. Over his career, he's amassed 325 receptions for over 500 yards and 28 touchdowns. His average yards per catch sit at around 14 yards, and he's shown the ability to turn short passes into big gains with his elite YAC, yards after catch, of over 5 yards. His overall PFF grade hovers around 85 too, which places him among the top receivers in the league when healthy and utilized correctly. In 2025, he's been productive again, with 45 catches for 650 yards and 4 touchdowns through just 10 games, averaging 65 yards per game. What's impressive is that he's avoided major injuries, only missing time briefly due to a mild knee issue in Week 3. The numbers don't lie. Waddle is a true playmaker. His ability to create separation, +1. 8 yards versus Johnson and break tackles, 4 compared to just 1 for many other WRs, makes him a nightmare for defenses. When you pair that with the Steelers' existing weapons, Waddle could be the X-factor that pushes this offense from good to great. His explosiveness and ability to turn quick passes into big gains would complement Pickens perfectly, making third downs much more manageable and turning red zone opportunities into touchdowns. Think about the kind of havoc he could wreak in the Steelers' offense, especially with Kenny Pickett's improving chemistry with George Pickens and the emerging talent of Waddle. Now, it's important to note the context of Miami's situation. The Dolphins are clearly in a rebuild mode, with a cap space of around $20 million and a roster that's been struggling on the offensive line, allowing 28 sacks so far this season. Their priority has been extending Tua Tagovailoa and shoring up their defense, which has also been giving up a lot of points, around 269 yards per game. Trading Waddle makes sense for them, especially if they're looking to build for the future and acquire draft capital to retool their roster. They're also mindful that losing Waddle won't cripple their offense because they still have Tyreek Hill, but moving Waddle would open up cap space and draft picks to focus on their bigger rebuild. For the Steelers, this is a golden opportunity. Pittsburgh is sitting at 6-4, fighting for a playoff spot, and improving their offense has been a major focus all season. Adding Waddle would give Kenny Pickett a serious weapon, someone who can stretch the field, create explosive plays, and turn the tide of games in Pittsburgh's favor. His presence would elevate the entire offense, transforming the Steelers from a team that often relies on grinding out drives to one that can strike quickly and decisively. We've seen flashes of that potential already, but Waddle would be the perfect complement to the existing core, especially with George Pickens drawing attention on the outside. Let's talk about the impact this could have on the Steelers' season and beyond. If Waddle joins the team, it's not just a short-term boost. This could be a strategic move to position Pittsburgh as a serious contender for the Super Bowl. Imagine a Steelers offense with Waddle, Pickens, and a re-energized Najee Harris, all working together to keep defenses honest. Waddle's route running, combined with his elite YAC and speed, would make third-down conversions more frequent, and his ability to beat single coverage would force defenses to adjust. This, in turn, would open up more opportunities for the run game and help keep defenses honest. From a statistical perspective, adding Waddle could see the Steelers' passing yards skyrocket. Currently, they average around 24, 6 points per game, impressive but still room for growth. With Waddle's addition, projections suggest they could easily push that number to over 28 points per game. His presence could also increase Kenny Pickett's EPA, expected points added, per pass, making Pittsburgh's offense more efficient and explosive. Waddle's ability to gain 50-plus yards after the catch per game would also boost the run-after-catch stats, making their offense even more dangerous once the ball is in his hands. And don't forget the bigger picture. If the Steelers can secure Waddle and integrate him into their system quickly, they could significantly improve their odds of making a deep playoff run. Their current odds, around plus 1,500, could drop to plus 800 or even better if Waddle proves to be the missing piece. This kind of upgrade is reminiscent of the Hill trade in Miami in 2022, where adding a dynamic receiver dramatically improved the Dolphins' chances of winning big games. The Steelers, with their rich history of strong defenses and now a more potent offense, could be on the cusp of something special. Of course, there are skeptics. Some fans worry about losing draft capital, especially early picks, and the team's ability to adapt quickly to such a major change. Others worry about the chemistry and whether Waddle's style fits the Steelers' system, but the potential upside is just too tempting to ignore. If Waddle does arrive, he'd be stepping into a system that's increasingly designed to maximize explosive plays, and his speed and agility would mesh well with the Steelers' physical, hard-nosed identity. Thinking ahead, this move could set the Steelers up for sustained success. With Waddle and Pickens stretching defenses, Najee Harris gaining more running room, and Kenny Pickett developing into a more consistent quarterback, the future looks bright. Even in a tough AFC North, with teams like Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland always vying for dominance, Pittsburgh could establish itself as the division's top threat. A Waddle addition would be a statement, signaling that the Steelers are serious about competing at the highest level, not just for this season, but for seasons to come. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Waddle would be the perfect addition? Would he be the spark that finally gets this offense over the hump? Or are you cautious about giving up draft capital for a player that's still young but unproven in Pittsburgh's system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers organization. I'll be back soon with more updates, rumors, and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. This is a franchise with a rich history, and with moves like this, they could be writing the next great chapter. Remember, the Steel Curtain isn't just a proud tradition, it's a mindset. And with Waddle potentially in the fold, the Steelers might just be getting ready to unleash a new era of dominance.